Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another solo board game playthrough. Today we're going to be playing a playthrough of Galilei. This one's a little special because I had you guys pick amongst a few games, and this is the one you guys chose overwhelmingly. So thank you guys for participating in that. Yeah, you guys seem very interested in this, so I decided to give it a try. And I think at the end of the game, we'll talk about. I think there have been some criticisms about the solo modes. We can kind of talk about that at the end of the game. But we'll kind of play through the game, and I'll explain things as things are going on. It's honestly really straightforward, with the exception of the Inquisitors. They can be a little tricky, but for the most part, what we're doing is really simple. So the game is we're going to be like observing these like celestial bodies. So there are these major observations, which are planets or some of these like meteor showers, and then there are these constellations we can observe, which are also on the cards. That's the bulk of the game, what we're doing, but as we do those things, it attracts the Inquisition, and the Inquisition doesn't like us doing that. So I think like some of these people were killed during their time for doing this stuff, so they don't like it. So part of that is dealing with the Inquisition, also like trying to convince them, hey, we're not bad people, all that stuff. And it's all done with this semi-rondelle mechanism where we're going to be choosing an action by pointing our telescope at that action, taking the action, and then the other action that's below it, and then they move. In the solo game, we have to play with the asymmetric player power, so we're using Johannes Kepler. His special ability is that he gets an extra tile that lets him swap the positions of 2 tiles on his board or 1 tile from his player board to here. That's what our deal is. So we'll just kind of hop into it. I'll explain things as the game goes on. We are the first player. Tycho, I think that's or Tico, how you say his name, is our opponent. And the first player marker is this. We are always first player marker, but this is going to be moved to determine his actions. So I've got it pointed there. Hopefully you can kind of see it, but we may just stick it there. And his stuff is done by that. We start the game with 1 color die of each die at value 1. Whenever we acquire a die, it's value 1. These die represent like the color spectrum, so we will see some things about mixing color, and the value on the die will be is essentially the how long we've been observing. So like things that are farther away have a greater die value because it requires looking out farther. So yeah, we've got these university tracks that we can go to lecture, and as we lecture, we get to go up on these tracks. These will give us opportunities to score these particular elements of the game. So we'll get, as we go up the track, our comets will be worth more points. First 0, then 1, then 2, then 3 for each comet. Our lowest position on our book track, which will be over here, will score the amount of Inquisitors we have and the number of, I think these are constellations. These are called, I think they're constellation tokens. The number of constellations we've looked at. I think that's what they're called. Yeah. And then up here are some goals of whoever gets the first of this thing will get 7 points, and then everybody else will get 3. So this is observe 2 major objects, observe 2 constellations, and observe and have 2 comets out, and up the 2 university tracks at the very top. Those are fixed. We're always having this every game, and then the rest of them are get 5 upgrades and observe 4 major observations. So we're like first player, like I said. The first thing we're going to do, you can see on our player board here, is we can move this 1 to 3 spaces. So when we move this 1 to 3 spaces, it starts here at the beginning of the game, but then for the rest of the game, it's going to go 1, 2, 3. We can pick one of those things to do. And I think what we're going to do, actually, is we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and we're going to do this. So we're going to do we can do the thing here and the thing here. So this is going to be put out a comet. These basically give us discounts for trying to observe stuff in the future. So it'll decrease the value of what we're observing by 1, and then it'll flip down and go to the bottom, and then it'll do it by 2, and then it can go down here, and we get a bonus for doing that. We can use as many of our own comets as possible that are there, so long as they each provide at least 1 discount. So that's how we get some of the bigger stuff. We'll need to use the comets. These actually can be taken in any order, but this is relatively inconsequential. So we're going to put our comet out, and then we can either choose to increase a red die, all our red die by 1, or go 1 on the book track, or go as far to the right on our book track, but we only have a few spots on there, so we don't have a whole lot. So I am going to increase this die by 1. And then when we're done with this, we will slide these down, We'll put this down here, and then we'll see if we have anything on the comments. We don't. We'll see if we persuaded any Inquisition. We did not. And then we'll see if we got any of those goals, and we don't. So our turn is over. So it's pretty straightforward, very, very easy. We'll go with Tycho now, and like I said, his actions are dictated by this. The first player marker is going to move across to decide which one. So we're going to flip over his stack of tiles. It's going to give us a number, and that's how many spaces we're going to move, and that's the action he's going to take. So he's going to move 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we look on his tile. So here's an example, and it looks to say, does he have this? If he does, do this. Otherwise, does he have this? If so, do this, and then if not, then do this. So in this case, it says, does he have at least 2 die? He doesn't care about die values or die color. He does have at least 2 die. He starts with 3 as well. He gets a major object. He puts, if he has a common up here, he moves it down. And if he has an Inquisition, he moves it over. In this case, he just is going to get the major object. And his tiebreaker, I believe, is the one that is worth the most die value is what he takes. So when he discovers the highest die value of a major object, so this is the highest die value of 8, so he's going to take this. He scores just the victory points here. He doesn't care about any other bonuses, and then goes onto his board like so, and he will get 7 points. Boom, and then we refill this, and then he goes through the same steps we do in terms of an Inquisition. Like, does he have anything here? Does he have does he do the Inquisition? And does he have anything there? He doesn't. It's back to our turn. So pretty quick, fast turns. Okay, so we're actually going to use Kepler's ability, and we're going to go here. And so the Kepler ability here is his special tile lets us swap this position of 2 things and either increase the die value by 2 or get 3 of these quadrant tokens. Quadrant tokens give us a free action being able to use when we're taking actions, and they're here. We can spend 1 quadrant token to swap a die of to a different color or increase a die by 1. We can add a die or move 3 book movements. We can move with 2 quadrant die. 2 quadrants, I'm sorry. With 3 quadrants, we can move 2 Inquisitors, and with 4 quadrants, we can put out a Comet. So that's what we can do with the quadrant tokens. So I think what I want to do is I want to get some stuff out on the board. So maybe let's get a die, and let's get a red die. So we're going to get a red die, we're not going to observe, and then we're going to increase, I think we're going to increase this yellow die by 3. And then I'm going to do the action of swapping 2 things, and I'm going to swap this. We can't swap this one, so this one's, but I think I'm going to swap this one with this one. Okay, and then this moves over, this moves down. All right, that's our turn. He's going to move 0 and then upgrade the tile that he's on. Now, there's a bit of controversy, but it appears to be online. The actual consensus is that he upgrades the tile that he's on, and that's it. He doesn't take the action of that tile. I don't think it's completely clear in the rule book, but based on BGG, that's what it says. So we're just going to upgrade the tile. So now this is the tile that's upgraded. He's going to get victory points and do a lot more stuff. So that tile's now upgraded. That's the end of his turn. Likewise, we can upgrade a tile here, and this shows you what all the upgraded tiles are on this little player aid. So obviously things get a lot better. Here's a turn structure. Okay. So I think I want to go 1, and then we have to start over, 2, and we're going to do this. I'm going to increase all my red die by 1, and then I think we're going to go ahead and do some observations. Now, when we observe stuff, we either observe 1 major object or 2 constellations. And I think I want to go for constellations. So I think we're going to use this 3 for this one, which will go here. That'll score us 4 points. And then on here, we'll get a token. We get one of our quadrant tokens, but that's a 3. We spend that 3. And then I'm going to use this 3 and plus my comet to make it a 4. And to do this one, which will just score us 5 points and get us an Inquisitor. And that's our go. Our turn is done. Oh, and then here we get to take one of these cards and put it here. So we take one of these and add it here, and now our library is longer. And this is the end game trigger. So once the stack runs out, the game will go into the last round and things like that. Now I got an Inquisitor. The way these Inquisitors work is they don't like what we're doing. So at the beginning, when we get them, they are going to be worth -8 points in the game. Throughout the game, we're going to try to move them over. There's this Inquisition, this favor track. They all have a value, -4, -2, -1, and 1. And we basically, as we move them and persuade them, we're going to sum the values of all of the Inquisitors in our cellar area. And whatever value that is, we move on the favor track that many spaces. So at the end of the game, we can get up to -10 points, or we can get up to +10 points. So that's going to be kind of a tricky balance we have. There will be some things that once they're completely persuaded, we can remove them to get a die and a quadrant token, but we'll kind of go over that when the time comes. Okay. So they're going to move 2. This symbol here means that if they hit an upgrade tile before they move their full 2, they will do that instead, but they're going to go 1. They circle back 2. He's going to look, does he have a unpersuaded Inquisitor? He does not, so he skips that action. Does he have 2 dice, and are there 2 spots on the board to place out constellations? There aren't. He has no 2 dice, so he's going to skip that. So he's going to gain 2 dice. He's going to move an Inquisitor, and he's going to go up on one of the university tracks. The way he measures that is going to be based on what he's already started working on. And in this case, they're all tied. He has 0 of these, 0 movement on this, 0 of these, and 0 of these. So he'll just do the leftmost one going there. Okay, Argo. Let's see. I think I want to go 1, 2. No, I'm going to go 1. I'm just going to go 1. And we're going to get a yellow. We're going to get a yellow die with this action. Then with this action, we're going to increase it by 2. And we'll move this up like that. That's our turn. He will move 1, 2. Does he have 2 Inquisitors that are unpersuaded? Nope. Does he have 2 dice? He does. So he spends those 2 dice. He takes another major object. Again, looking for the one with the highest die value, which will be this one. Scores him 7 points. We'll refill. Then he would move a comet down twice and gain an Inquisitor, and he does gain his Inquisitor, so he goes there. Okay, that's his go. So he's gotten 2 of these now, so he's started working on some of that stuff up there. Okay, we're going to move 1 space over to place this comet out, and then we're going to increase this by 1. That will be our turn. Let's move this down. This is the one thing I forget to do sometimes, is move this down. He's going to move 3. 1, 2, 3. Does he have an unpersuaded Inquisitor? He sure does. So he goes 1, 2, and he gains a die. Now we're going to see what it looks like for the Inquisition. So what's going to happen is he triggers the Inquisition because he persuaded someone. He will take the values of all of the things here, and the only value he has is -1, so he moves -1 on this track, and that's how that works. So it gets a little tricky when there's a bunch of them and trying to do all that stuff, but that's how that works. Okay. Finally, we're going to go here, and we are going to make this a 3. No. We're going to move on our book track. So we're going to move on our book track as far over to the right as we can. We're going to take this book and do that. So we get every reward. So for the first reward, we're going to get a die. The die we're going to get is going to be blue. Then we get to go up on a university track. That university track we're going to go up is going to be the comet one as well. And we get this bonus, which increases the die value by 1. Then we're going to observe. So we're going to take these 2 dice. Now, we have a 4 and a 2. This is orange. So because it's orange with 4 and a 2, we're going to observe one of these 2. And I'm going to use this one to observe to make it a 7 value. So it's 4, 5, 6, 7. This slips down. Let's take Mars. So this scores 5 victory points. We go right there. Maybe I should have done that first. Oh, it doesn't matter. I didn't go up on this, so it's okay. All right. And then this slides down. And if we observe another major object, we will be able to complete that objective. So because we've got 2, 2, and then there's one major object. So we're in a good spot. All right, Tycho's going to move one space. Does he have a comet? He does. He places at the top. He goes up on the university track and gains an inquisitor. The university track he goes up on, we're going to reassess again. He has more inquisitors than anything else, so he's going to go up on that track. All right, and we'll shuffle his deck up. So if I can observe again, what major object would I be able to get? I don't really think there's anything I can get. I can do some minor stuff with some constellations, but I don't think I'm going to do that. So I think we're going to move to this tile. We're going to gain one of these, and we're going to upgrade our fancy tile here, which now lets us increase the die value by two die by 3. What? This always let us increase 2 dice. Okay, I didn't realize that. So it increases 2 die values by 3, and then it also will let us get us 4 of these tokens. So that's our turn. Kepler's going to move, or Tycho's going to move 1, 2, 3. Does he have an unpersuaded person? He does. When he moves these, he moves them in such a way that maximizes his movement on this track. So he goes 1, 2, 3. He gets 6 points, and he gains a die. He also now triggers an Inquisition. It's +1, -1, so he does no movement on that track, so he's good there. Okay, our go now. We're going to go 1, 2. We're going to gain... I think we're going to gain a red die with this action, and then we're going to go up on this track with this action, which gets us a book movement. That book movement is going to move us here, which is going to get us another track movement on here. We're going to move up on this track again for that. That's going to get us another increase with the die. We're going to increase that die up by another 1. I think that's it. Okay. He's going to go 1, 2. Does he have a person? He doesn't. Does he have 2 dice and 2 of these? He does. So he's going to spend these 2. He's going to take the highest victory point values possible. So he's going to go here for 9 points. Oh, gosh. And then there's a 5. There's a 5. There's a 6. So we'll go for the 6 there. And then he's going to drop his comet down. And then he's going to move his Inquisitor there. And then because he moved him, he evaluates. He's a 2 + 1, so he moves 2 spaces to the right on that track. His turn is over. We're going to go here. We're going to place a comet out for ourselves up here. And then we're going to increase the die value of 2 dice by 3. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. So this goes up to 4. And then we're going to swap 2 things. And I think I'm okay with this being here. I think I'm going to swap out... Okay. And then this moves out to the end. Okay. He's going to upgrade this tile. This turn is over. We're going to go here. So first off, we're going to be able to observe, and then we can tick up dice. We are going to take the action to get a quadrant token and move our Inquisitor 1 space. As a free action, we're going to spend 3 quadrant token to move our Inquisitor 2 spaces. So now he's at the end. And then we're going to observe, and we're going to observe this thing for 9. Or maybe, no, I'm going to observe it for 7 and spend these 2 to make it 9. No, 2 of these make it 9. That makes it 9. So that makes it 9. So we're going to get 9 victory points. 14, 10, 13, 23. That's it. And then this comes up on our board here. And then we are going to move our tile down. Whoops. We do have a comet here because now we spent this one, so it gets to be placed on any of these spots. We're going to place it on that spot to get another die. I think we want, there's a lot of, let's get a yellow die. We're going to trigger an Inquisition. We get +1 because we only have one there. And then do we have any goals? We do. We've got 2 major objects. We've got 2 constellations. We have 2 comets. So we're going to take one of our goal tokens here and place it there. It's going to score us 7 points. And then we can dismiss this guy. And if we do, we get a die and a quadrant token. But I don't think I'm going to, because this will help kind of keep this track in kind of a good spot. So I don't think I'm going to dismiss him. I think I'm okay on dice right now. All right. 1, 2, 3. Does he have the 3 people, or 1 person? He doesn't. Does he have 3 dice? He doesn't. So he gains 3 dice and 4 victory points. One thing to mention is that when we're color mixing for these, we have to have at least 1 of each die to do that. So in this case, we have to have at least 1 blue and 1 red, which I had 1 of each. But you can add in other die of those colors to make up to that point. So, okay. I'm going to go for the 4 major objects situation here. Okay, I think I'd like to get the Galilei crater. That'd be 10 points. But we're going to have to work on that a little bit. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. This will gain us a yellow die and let us move on the book track. We're going to move all the way on this book track, so it's going to get us a quadrant token, increase our yellow die by 1, 4 points. And that'll move down. Okay. Tycho's going to move 1, 2. Does he have 2 dice and 2 of these? He does. So he's going to place these out for the most victory points. This is 5 and this is 5, so that's 10 points for him. And then he would move Inquisitors, but he can't. And he's going to take one of these cards. Place that there. Okay. Our go now. We'll go here. We'll put our comment out. And then we're going to increase our dice by 1 each. Slide this down. Okay. He's going to move 1. Does he have a comet? He does. Can he go up on the university track? Oh, which university track does he choose to go up to? He's got 2 Inquisitors. He's got 4 of these, so he's going to go up on this track. And then he's going to gain an Inquisitor. And then he has 2 major objects. So at the end of his turn, he's going to place this out here for 3 victory points. 1, 2, 3. Because he's got the 2 major objects, he's got the 2 constellations, he's got the 2 comets. So he's able to fulfill that objective. Okay, our go now. Let's go here. I'm going to use this to gain a red die. And then we're going to observe, and I've got 10 here. I'm going to observe Galileo crater. So that's 10, 11, 12. But we're going to get 10 points for this and move an Inquisitor, which we don't have an Inquisitor to move, but we do get 10 points. And then this gets refilled. And then this slides down. And then we do have this here, so we're going to use this and place this out here on the track to go up on this track. That's going to get us a book movement. That book movement is going to be here. That's going to let us increase this die. So you can see a lot of stuff combos quite a bit. So, all right. Three, 1, 2, 3. Does he have 1 all the way over? He does. So he moves over 2 and gains a die. He triggers his Inquisition. It's +1 because he's got 2 minus 1, so he moves over 1 space. All right. Do I want to upgrade something again? I'm not really going for that goal, but I'm trying to go for another major object. So, and I'm already up at the top of this track, so I probably want to start working on either of these 2 tracks. I doubt I'll go up this one. Let's go 1, 2. Yeah, let's go 2. We'll move on our book track all the way over here. That'll get us a die. That'll get us a movement on one of these tracks. We'll go up on this track, which gives us one of these. And then we'll gain, boost our red die all the way up. So that was the book track. Then we're going to observe, and I'm going to observe. I'll spend. Oh, I didn't really plan that out all that well. I guess I'm only observing one thing. Actually, before I do that, I could swap the die. Yes, let's do that. So we're going to actually swap this 2 out for a blue 2. That's what this action is going to be. Then we're going to observe something. And what we're going to observe is going to be, we're going to spend these 2 plus this 1 to observe this. That's going to be 6, or it's going to be 5 points. And we get an Inquisitor. And that'll flip over. Okay. And that's fine because now we've got 4 major objects. So we're going to go here, score 7 points. And I don't think I want to dismiss him quite yet, so I think we're okay on that. But now we've taken the lead. All right. He's going to upgrade. That's his go. We have no dice. I got to get these guys moved along here. So the best way to get this guy moved would be probably to move my book. This book could move. This would get me a guy. We're going to go here. I'm going to take a red die. And then I'm going to gain a token and move him 1 space. That'll be my go. In doing that, we trigger our Inquisition. It's +2. It's +1 -2, which is -1, so we're moving back a space. They're going to go 1, and because this is an upgrade tile, he stops here. Does he have a person unpersuaded? Nope. Does he have 2 dice and 2 of these? He does. So the 2 spots he takes are going to be that one for 7, and then that one for 4. And then he takes one of these cards. So we're almost at the end of the game here, because there's only 3 cards there left. Okay. That's his turn. We'll go here. We'll get this comet out. Do I want to increase a die? I increase 2 dice. Well, let's actually get 3. We'll actually get 4 of these instead. And then I'm going to swap. I'm going to swap this one with this one. And this slides down. Okay. He'll go 1, 2. Does he have 2 dice? Nope. So he gets 3 dice because he doesn't have anybody. He doesn't have 2 unpersuaded people. So he's gonna get his 3 dice. His turn's over. I'd like to get more of these out, but we don't have a lot of spaces. I don't have the right die colors for them. So we're gonna go here. I know I'm moving across on this and gaining that. And then the question is, I guess I'm gonna take a die, and we'll take a yellow die. We triggered our Inquisition. It's +1 -1, so we do no movement. This slides over. Okay. He goes 1, 2, 3. Are there 2 spots on the board and 2 of these? There are. He looks for spots on the board, not how many he has. So he spends the 2 dice, and there are 2 spots. He placed only one of these out. It will go on the 3 spot because it's the only one available for the high amount. And then he breaks ties with the left, so 1, 2, 3. Then he gains one of these cards, and he moves this over. He triggers his Inquisition. There's 3, so 1, 2, 3. I might have forgot to do that earlier. Oh well. Okay, that's his turn. I can't really observe anything because he's kind of like messed me up. I can use a bunch of comments, I guess, but we're gonna go 1, 2. No. We can observe. We can get some dice. I'm going to spend 2 as a free action, get a blue die, and another 2 as a free action, get another blue die. Then we're going to go 1, 2. We're going to increase our blue die values by 1. Then we're going to spend this and this to observe here. That's going to get us 2 points. And up on a track, the track we're going to go up on is this track, which will get us 1 book movement, which will move us here, which will slide that across. Then we're going to, so this goes down here. We spend the last 2 for this and this for this token. Boom, it's 2 more points. That flips down, that goes there, and then we'll take this for that. And that moves over. It slides down. Then we will move our comet over. This comet is going to go... we're going to go here and get 3 points. 1, 2, 3. Okay. He moves 1 space. Does he have a comet? He does. He goes up a university track, so he's going to go up this track. And then he's going to move his inquisitors 2 spaces over. And if he has 3 inquisitors, he dismisses one of them for 10 points. He has 3 full persuaded inquisitors. He dismisses one for 10 points, so it goes to 76. So he does that. Okay. Let's see. I think I'd like to get the rest of this stuff out if I can, but there's not a lot of options here for doing that. We're going to go here. We're going to take a yellow die. I'm going to try. And then we're going to move our book token all the way across. That moves us Inquisitor. We don't have one to move. We will gain Inquisitor from this one. We'll move all our yellow up twice. And then we'll get 2 victory points. And I'm going to spend my 3 to move him over twice. We trigger our Inquisition, and we move that over. Yeah, I didn't do that in quite the right turn order. There we go. Okay, shuffle up his tiles. Okay, flip that. He goes 1, 2, 3. He doesn't have this. He doesn't have this, so he gains 3 dice. And goes up on a temple or a university track. He's going to go up on that track. Okay. What do we want to do? Oh, I'm going to get a comet out for sure. We're going to get this comet out. And then we'll bump our red up by 1. Okay. He upgrades this tile. He can't, so he upgrades this one. His turn is done. We're going to go here. Do I want to book track and then... Do I book track and then observe something? I can trigger the end of the game by taking that eclipse. But I think I do it. Yeah, we're going to use the book track, so we're going to use this one. We're going to go all the way on this. That's 1 point. That's a university track movement, which will let us move an Inquisitor. And then it's dismiss an Inquisitor, which I'm not going to do. So we done that. Then we did move him, so I'm going to stick him up to remember. Then we're going to spend 3, 6, 8, 9, 10 to do this eclipse. Gets us 9 points. And now it triggers the end of the game. So we'll finish out this round. And we take the rest of the level 3 cards and put them off to the side to fill in anything that needs to be filled in case of people fill in stuff. But we will finish this round, play one more round, and the game is over. So you observe that thing. We've done that. This will move over like that. We move our comet. We'll move this comet to... What do we want to do with this comet? It's too late for me to move this thing over. I don't think I want to do that. So I think we'll just do here for a quadrant token. Actually, 1, 2... Yeah, that's fine. And then we do our Inquisition, which is going to be +3. So 1, 2, 3. And then we're not at the top of any... we didn't fill anything there. Okay, so Tycho takes his second to last turn. He moves 1. He cannot do this. So he gets 2 dice, goes up 2 track movements, and gains an Inquisitor. The 2 track movements, of course, he's going to go up this track. And then his other track movement, he's got 4 of these, he's got 3 of these, he hasn't moved on this. He's going to go up on this. Okay, so final turn of the game. I kind of want to see if I can get up on this track here, which I would be able to, and go 1, 2, 3 to do that. But I'm not going to really be doing anything else. So I think that's all I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. We'll move up this track for ourselves, end our turn, and then we do get to complete that objective for 7 points because we're up on 2 tracks. So that puts us at 82. And that's it. I'm done. So we're going to go with Tycho. He's going to move 1 space. Does he have a comet? He does. He places out 2 comets. He moves 2 of them down, so this gets moved down here, this gets moved down here. He moves his book 2 spaces over, which he only cares about from a scoring and like objective perspective. Then he will move up on this track 2 times. And then if he has 3 fully people, he'll dismiss 1 for 10, but he doesn't. Then we will go into this. He will score this now for 3 points. 1, 2, 3. And I believe that is the game. Oh, this would move over. He just covers up the leftmost thing. So that is the game. That's the game. So final scoring is right here. Like I said, we didn't dismiss anybody, but if we did, we would have gotten a quadrant token and a die of any color. But I didn't want to do that. So scoring here, we score the university tracks and we score our Inquisitor tracks, and then that's the game. So we'll score Tycho first, and then we'll see where we stand. So university tracks, he scores 3 points for every comet that he placed out. He's placed out 5 comets, so he gets 15 points. So 94. He doesn't get anything here. Here he gets nothing for each Inquisitor, and then here he'll get 3 points for every constellation he put out. He put out 7, so it's 21 points. So we're at 115. Then we do here, he scores 2 points for being on this track, and at the end of the game he scores 1 point for each of these 2, and -8 for these 2, which is -6, putting him at a 111 as his final score. Okay, so our score, we're going to go here. I don't think we got it. We get 18 points because we had 3 times 6, so 18 put us at 100. Maybe we did get it, I don't know. Then we didn't get anything here, we didn't get anything here. Here we're going to get 3 times 4, which is 12. Oh, 1 ahead. Then we get 1 point for here, and then 3 points for here. 1, 2, 3. So just eked it out, 116 to 111. And that is the game. So that is a quick playthrough, under 40 minutes, of Galileo. Galilei should give you a good idea of how the game works. I think the biggest complaint that people have had about this game is that it's really swingy from the bot's perspective. The bot, there were a couple times where he didn't really do anything, but we kept it pretty close. I've won half my games, including this one, and I've lost. So I have a 50-50 against Tycho. The first game I lost pretty badly, but since then, since I kind of know what I'm doing, they've been closer, right? So yeah, even the one that I lost, the last one I played that I lost, I ended up going like really Inquisitor heavy and got a bunch of points, but then ended up losing like a decent amount from it. So I would say that's the one thing about the bot, is that sometimes they do all this stuff. I've had games where they didn't touch any of these. I've had games where you have a stack of Inquisitors. So that's really what you're kind of signing up for from a solo perspective. I think people complained about. For me, it doesn't bother me because really what an AI opponent does for me is gives me like a moving target to beat. And I enjoy doing all this stuff and like being able to like focus on certain things. So like, I only went up 2 tracks, right? So I could have focused on books and really like tried to get my books all the way up, or focused on Inquisitors and tried that and ignored the other 2. So, and like maybe like save my observation action for just major observations, so I could like fill this out to go on my book track, and then I wouldn't have even messed with this track. So given that there's a variability in like what to go for, I think that gives you plenty to play with. And the game comes with 4 of these, well, I have 5 because I've got the promo of Haley, but it comes with 4 base of these asymmetric characters. There are, of these tracks, there's 12, there's 6 tiles for these tracks, and they're all double-sided, so your rewards for stuff is going to be different, and like the multiplier is going to be different. So a game I could have had this be here, and then I could actually get 4 times for my comets, right? Or we could have like that could have changed that for sure. So we could have had those kind of play out differently. And then these changed because 4 of these are at the top of the universities, and then the other 2 flip over to be first-time objectives, so you can actually change how that gets focused on as well. So I think the biggest complaint, like I said, is that the bot is swingy, but you know what? It's fine. It doesn't bother me. I think the bigger issue, if there was an issue, is that there is no scalable difficulty, like officially. Like I don't think there's there's not an official way to change the difficulty of the bot. And I think if you were to really get good at this game and consistently beat him, and understand that like, okay, like you're going to block him out of stuff based on what tiles are coming up, then that could be a problem. But I think if you were to like house rule it to like start him with off an upgraded tile, then that could be a way to increase his difficulty, because they do end up giving him way more stuff to do. So I like it. I think that I like the die mixing thing. I think that's a lot of fun, and I'm good with this. I was really deterred at first, but then since you all voted and saying like we should try this, I was like, let me just do it and see, because I've seen, like I said, mixed reviews on the solo mode. I think it's great. Tomas Halleck, is that how you say his last name? I'm so sorry. Tomas Holick. He's 2 for 2 for me. I think SETI is a better game in my opinion, but I think it's got a lot more going on. I think this game is got a lot of fun tactical choices in terms of like how I want to like play stuff out. But it's much lighter, and that's fine. Like I don't think heavier games are equate to be immediately better. I do like SETI more, but I also feel like you can play this game and not feel like you've done everything, and I think that's a great hallmark of a Euro game, feeling like, oh, there's more I could have done. I could have placed out the rest of these. I could have moved my books farther. I could have went heavier on Inquisitors. Like, that gives you a lot of ways to really utilize or really lean into like a certain section of the game. You're going to be doing a little bit of everything, but I do feel like you are you can't do everything, and because you can't do everything, it makes each play feel a little different. And then the tracks will maybe change stuff. Your player power may help you lean into one thing or another. I would just say if way to change his difficulty would probably be the only thing that would need to be added, honestly. And I think if there were even more of these tiles, and then you just like use the set amount of tiles so that they're random each game, like if you had 2 more of these tiles and then you only use 5 of the 7, that could be a way to kind of make him either focus on something, or because that's like something some other games do, like Stroganoff, like you have a deck of cards and you can like set a subset of those deck of cards out to make them focus. And I think that could be an interesting way to like do that, but I don't know enough about game design to really to suggest something meaningful. No, I think SETI's a good one. If you enjoyed this, I think you'll like the game. It seems like we all have a similar liking to our games on the channel, so it makes a lot of sense why you guys wanted to see this one and suggested it, so I appreciate that. But yeah, I think it's a good game. I think it's a lot of fun. The expansion comes out later this year, so I think that'll add some interesting stuff. But yeah, I think it's just overall really solid, really good Euro. Tomas Holick, I think, is somebody you need to look out for. His other game that came out at Essen last year, Tea Garden, does have an official solo mode now, and the expansion, when it comes out later this year, is going to have it in the box. I think it's a print and play at the moment, so when that expansion comes out and Tea Garden comes out, I'll probably end up getting that as well. But yeah, he's another one to watch out for. I think if you guys like SETI, I think you guys will like this. And the theme is really fun, and I actually think the theme with the Inquisitors makes a lot of sense, and I think once I understood that, it made it a lot more, like, because I think that's the other thing, people don't like the negative point stuff, but like understanding that like these guys were like jailing people and killing people and stuff like that, I think it makes sense. So you're like, okay, like I got to be careful about my observations because I don't want them coming after me, and it's just stuff like, and like the ones that are farther out, like I mean, you can see some of these things are like, I mean, Uranus, Neptune, Io, there were so many points. And it's just, I think this is a cool thing. And then you go to the university and maybe you sway some of them by going up the tracks and telling them about them. So I think inherently the negative point thing is like an issue for people. But for me, it doesn't bother me so much. And it doesn't feel like the end of the world if you have somebody at -8. I mean, he did, and I guess I beat him because of it. But yeah, that doesn't bother me. And I think because it's thematic in that perspective, it helps kind of remember the rules. The rules are very easy in this game, I would say. So So anyway, that's it. That's my rambling. Thank you guys so much for voting on this, and I'm glad that I got to share it with you guys. If you guys want to see some more Galilei, or anything else on the channel, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to do them. But in the meantime, that's going to be it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and so much for choosing this game. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.